Hello, welcome to the Plaid Sheep Oracle. This is a collective reading, and it isn't, I don't want to say that it's urgent, but this is the moment for it. So here it is. I mean, whenever you watch it, it's the moment for it for you. We begin with Orenda. Honor your mystical creative force. And then the bottom of the deck is paradisical. You belong to paradise. And then there's perfect acceptance, as well as honor yourself. So maybe you've been very self-critical in some way. But it almost feels less like it's self-critical as it is underestimating yourself. We begin here with the star, but rather than feeling it's in its usual kind of lovely way of reaching for the stars and following your star, this feels, I don't know, like you're waiting for something, like you're waiting for the star to do something. And this is echoed here at the bottom of the deck with the Four of Swords. And this burying of the sword being like not taking action, even in your own mind. Below the star, we have the 10 of Sacred Circles. This village that's here very sleepy, asleep, silent in the night. So there's this sense of just waiting for something, right? Then we have the Two of Swords and the Two of Staves, Two of Wands. There's this waiting. Waiting for a signal, waiting for a sign, waiting for somebody else to do something. I'm reading it from a very spiritual perspective, but it might be very literal. That you've put something on hold because you're waiting for somebody to do something. For some other person or entity, like a company perhaps, to take action. And here too, right? This Five of Cups has this scene of King Arthur heartbroken because Guinevere has had an affair with Lancelot there. And there's these two people. And if we ignore the story, kind of, it's, right, there's this sense of waiting for somebody to do something. Waiting for somebody to clean up, or to right these cups. Not even so much to clean them up, but to turn them upright. Right, there's this sense, right, this loss, maybe a grief, a heartbreak, a disappointment, but then this waiting sense. And with the moon, uncertainty, confusion, a feeling like all of this is separate from you in some way, that you have no power here. Now, under the moon card, a second card kind of came for a ride unintentionally. And it was the Eight of Cups. And that also seems like today, like avoidance. You're not even going to deal with these cups. You're just going to go somewhere else. That this is you, I don't know, you are avoiding taking action, avoiding making a decision of some kind, avoiding stating a preference. Then we have the High Priestess. And this message that she wants to deliver. Right under her is the Knight of Swords. And then yet another two. The Two of Pentacles here with these birds that have pulled the pin on this grenade. And then below them is the Knight of Wands and this fast-moving Justice. So an energy of taking action and quite possibly a mental action, because we do have the Queen of Pentacles here, who is, she's certainly the most embodied queen. There is a physicality to this, in the sense of taking care of the self, right? Honoring your mystical creative force. Honoring yourself. All right, this honor yourself. And next to her, underneath, were the Eight of Swords, which is the mental self prison. And then this strange Eight of Wands. Because, right, you're asleep. And I want to say that you're not even asleep. You're pretending to be asleep. There's all of this, like, messaging going on. Right? We've got this High Priestess with the bird. But you're not engaging with it. Then we have the Hermit, and this is coming through very oddly. This is the Hermit in a very, sort of overly humble. The Hermit coming through more as some sort of supplicant to source. Someone who might prostrate himself. Although this particular hermit isn't really like that, right? This hermit has killed a snake. So the card has sort of a twofold message. One, it's that you are coming through as this hermit who, who's doing sort of the spiritual thing, but from a very disempowered place. From a place of waiting, right? Waiting for the divine to act in some way or to make a choice for you. But then this hermit is a very active sort of hermit who's gone and killed his own snake. And then the High Priestess message, right, is to kind of move yourself from this space. I mean, here you are, it's the Six of Swords. It's meant to be a card of movement, of mental movement, but it feels very still, right? You're just in the boat. There's no boatman. There's nobody with oars. There's no motor on the boat. You're just, right? You're sitting still. The fish are all kind of moving under there, wondering what's going on. They're thinking you should be moving your boat. You know, and then there's this 9 of Wands. Right, a sense of just over-efforting in some way. You know, an excess of prostration, an excess of seeking, waiting for the sign. And then the Sun, wanting, right? The Sun is a great eye. You know, in this, and this crow, right, is so distorted here in this card. So it's actually, you know, it feels like a lack of clarity. Like there is a distortion in how you are seeing. And then we have yet another 2. It's the 4th 2. The 2 of Wands, waiting, more waiting. Although under this is the 9 of Pentacles, which is a not waiting card. So this exists underneath and is trying to get its way through. Right? I kind of want to say that it's sort of happening behind you somewhere. And you're not seeing it. Right? It may be that your body is trying to deliver a message to you in some way. But then we have the second appearance of the 5 of Cups. Here, very sort of exhausted kind of feeling. I mean, she has tipped, right? She's kind of tipped this cup over herself. It's pouring away, but she's done it with her foot. It's like she can't even, you know, kind of sit up straight. But then there's the 6 of Pentacles. Right, again, the Pentacles are really coming through as the signals, as the message really wanting to come through. Right, the Queen of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles with the pulled grenade pin, the 6 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles behind you. So drawing your attention to the world, to your ability as a human being to do a thing. That you are not at the mercy of anything. And then we have this High Priestess again. And here you are, right? The receptive self, the Queen of Cups. But what's happening between you is the 7 of Swords. And I think this is, right, this is the distortion. These, right, these crow feathers are coming possibly, or maybe you're afraid that they're coming from the distorted crow. There may be a fear in you. There's some sort of, there's either some sort of fear or there's some, you know, for some reason the message is coming through distorted or corrupted, so that you see it as a danger. You see it as something false. And I don't know, I don't know if it's that you don't trust the divine, or maybe what you don't trust is your own, I think this is more likely, that you don't trust your own ability to receive the message correctly. And so maybe you keep waiting for more and more messages. You want more and more confirmation, or you actually want, you kind of want the universe to actually act, right? To do the thinking and the acting for you, so that you don't have to make the decision. You don't have to make the choice because you're afraid you're going to make the wrong one. So you're just sitting. And I don't, this may not be necessarily taking action, literally, doing something physical with your body, right? Or something like writing a letter or sending a resume or something. It might be that. But it might be more because there's so many swords happening, right? There's this 4 of Swords and the 2 of Swords and the 8 of Swords and the Knight of Swords and this 7 of Swords. That a lot of this may just be what is in your head, because that is the most, right? Our thoughts and how we use them is in fact our greatest power. So it may be making a choice, saying out loud, perhaps to yourself, writing down, a sense of admitting to yourself, this is what I want. I want this. And I don't know, maybe there's something scary about what it is that you want. Maybe you're afraid it'll upset everything. It might be something like you want to leave a relationship, or you want to leave a job. And that you're afraid to do it because of what the fallout might be. Right? This kind of, right, the 5 of Cups fallout that there might be. Or you may be afraid that people will be really critical of what it is that you want to do. If you want to, quit your job. Or this doesn't, I want to say that this is not something, I mean, maybe it is you admitting to yourself that what you really want to do is to, start your own business. But there's something, it feels more, because of this 8 of Cups, as leaving something. So maybe it's not so much that you're afraid of starting the business as you are of leaving the job. Or maybe you're in a partnership with someone and you don't want to, you've got a business together with someone and you really don't want to do it anymore. You think the time has come to split up, right? To break up the band. And this is frightening. Or it's about leaving home and you kind of want, right? You want circumstances, outside intervention to solve the problem for you, to make the choice for you. But if you don't make the choice, even in your own mind, then it's not going to happen outside of you, right? Because you're in resistance. And so in the advice section, we have the King of Swords. Clarity. Right? Clarity here, the 2 of Pentacles reappearing. Clarity about what it is you want, making that choice. Right? And actually, Temperance is below that. Right? Which here is coming through kind of as equivocating. And then below that is the Queen of Cups coming through as maybe, right, a little too sensitive, a little too, right, unwilling to hurt anybody's feelings. And then the Six of Pentacles below that again. But rather than, you know, kind of this image, which is a bit like the universe giving you what you need, this looks like there's some sort of, you know, maybe there's a negotiation going on, right? Maybe you feel like the child who can't leave. But below all of these is the Ace of Cups. That which your heart wants. The bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups again. For the third time. So, advice, right? King of Swords. Clarity and personal authority. Knowing your own mind. Speaking what is in your own mind. And then we have Judgment. Right? That kind of moment, right? The trumpets sounding. And then the Knight of Wands here, rushing toward the moon and the unknown and the mystical. Right towards it. Rather than, you know, avoiding it, moving away from it. There is rushing right toward it. And then the Magician. Right? The creation, taking responsibility, accepting mastery, honoring your mystical, creative force. So, choose. Choose first in your own head. Say it to yourself. Aloud first. Come to the understanding. Be clear with yourself. This is what I want. And it is my power that causes it to come into being. My choice, my embrace, my desire. Own your desire. All right. So I hope that was useful for somebody. Anybody who's been sitting on the fence, sitting, waiting, looking out the window, hoping for the universe to act on their behalf. It will not happen until you own it in your own self. Alrighty, my dears. I wish you all the very, very best, and I will see you next time. So long.